huge thank you. Like none of this would be possible. I mean, I said this a long time ago. The biggest thing that makes change happen is speaking out and saying no to this madness, no to unfairness.
We've got a Stand with April update. April Hutchinson tells me she's not even close to being done fighting for sports fairness. The Team Canada powerlifter was initially suspended for 2 years for speaking up about male-born lifters competing as women and then mocking the women they beat.
And no, we're not talking about Mackenzie Lee. She's got little T-Rex arms and she's like 400 pounds of chest muscle, apparently. I mean, standard bench in powerlifting competition for women, I literally don't understand why it's so bad. My son, he weighs 45 pounds. His max bench is like 33. I'm legit seeing some women in competition who are doing something like 50 pounds, and I just don't understand it.
But she's just had her ban reduced on appeal, and she's changed her sport for the better. Although April will now serve a 1-year prohibition from competition in Canadian Powerlifting Union, CPU, events, her activism for sports fairness spurred the resignation of the president of the CPU and forced the organization to adopt stricter guidelines on male-born athletes who identify as female. Take a listen.
Yeah, so we got the decision back for the appeal that Lisa Bildy, my lawyer, put in. It was to ITPS Sports. It's a kind of like an independent agency that the CPU have basically chosen to kind of be the decider on my fate, basically. Not a huge company. Never even heard of them before. So anyways, even Lisa, we were like, who are we sending our appeal to? We were kind of whatever. So, and they came back last week and they said that they've reduced my 2-year suspension to a 1-year suspension. Reason being, and you know what? I was kind of expecting that because it's a very safe, political, middle of the road decision. Because if you,
they split the baby is what they did.
Exactly. So I wasn't quite surprised by that. That's what I get is 1 year. I can start lifting again in November, but that doesn't mean it's over by any means. Like we are still going to be kind of exploring our legal avenues, Lisa and I, to see what we can do down the road further.
You changed this for everybody going forward. So you could very well be the last woman that this ever happens to.
Yeah. So, and that's what people, I think, are missing here is that this is a victory. Like I said in the article, I kind of feel like I took one for the team. I don't mind doing that. I would do it all over again because now with my federation, the CPU, which I'll be joining back again in November, they now protect women by at an international level because the IPF, who's the international body, basically told them you have to adopt our policy. So now anything above provincials, I mean, transgender athletes can compete at a local level, kind of like a house league, just for fun, participate. But anything higher than that, that's when they start doing stricter measures like testosterone monitoring, psychological records. And that's the big clincher right there is that people think, oh, testosterone is not that big of a deal, but guess what? Psychological records mean a huge, huge deal. And a lot of them do not provide those. So therefore they don't go forward with that.
You've changed things for the better and made things more fair for female powerlifters going forward. So I think that is an absolute victory. That is a win. And I think it is what you wanted to do in the end.
Yes, exactly. That was my plan. I mean, that was my goal. Even if they stuck me with the 2-year suspension, I would still be happy with the fact that it got the global attention that it so deserved and the fact that the policy was changed.
What are you going to do with these next 10 months?
Yeah, so when I'm not working, that's basically what I'm doing is I'm training. Yeah, right. And I'm training. And now that I actually have a goal in mind, I have 10 months to build. So I'm just going to get stronger. I just started boxing a couple of weeks ago. I used to box before. So I was like, oh, great. What timing that they announced this new policy. So that might be another federation I might have to tackle down the road, which I have no problems doing. And I have a couple speaking engagements coming up on March 8th, which is International Women's Day. I will be speaking along with some amazing women warriors in Toronto. We don't know the location, but there are basically, it's called Women's Rights, Gender Wrongs. Love that title. Yeah, so tickets are on sale now. You can buy VIP tickets for a meet and greet. You can buy regular tickets, or you can even buy a $25 virtual ticket so you can watch everything on Zoom. So check out my Twitter for that. I think I might post it on my website as well. If someone Googles my name, there's a lot of misinformation
Sure.
out there about me, right? And so I really wanted one spot with all my important links. So my website is simply my name. It's www.aprilhutchinson.com. There you can find my legal fund. You can donate to Rebel News. You can sign the petition. You can also shop for merchandise for my Keep Female Sports Female hoodies. And you'll have all my links to my media, from Piers Morgan to Tucker Carlson to Rebel News. Everything's in one spot. And there's also a blog. So if you subscribe, you'll get updates on what I'm doing with my legal updates or just any speaking engagements as well. So
That's great. And I wanted to, for me, take this opportunity to thank the thousands of people who signed that petition at standwithapril.com, who donated to your legal fund, who can continue to donate to your legal fund, because as you've indicated, there are other things in the works, and you're willing to fight with other sports organizations for fairness in sport for women. And I'm just so grateful for them, because without those people standing with you, none of this really would have been possible.
no, exactly. A huge thank you. Like, none of this would be possible. I mean, I said this, a long time ago. The biggest thing that makes change happen is speaking out and saying no to this madness, no to unfairness. So that's the biggest contributor right there. And when I say this isn't over, it's true. I might have the boxing Canada to now tackle, but any lawsuits that happen, say with me and the CPU, which I still have to sit down and talk to Lisa about, was just for the overall maltreatment of myself and the pure ignorance. When I did write them to tell them about the unfairness, they ignored me, and the complete bias that the board members showed by punishing me for speaking biological facts, but allowing that male grifter to basically bash women and make fun of them and, threaten me. But that's okay, right? So, I mean, they do need to be held accountable for those actions.
If you'd like to add your name to the list of thousands of people who stand with April in her fight to preserve female sports, please go to standwithapril.com on that website. You can also make a donation to offset her legal fees. Again, that's standwithapril.com.